morning, this is Bye Bye Money, and today is October 26, 2020, and welcome to day 15 of my journey to doubling my account using only price action. If you're watching, thanks for joining me on this journey. Let me know if there are any topics you'd like to know about price action in the comments. I'm doubling a 5K account in the MES micros before moving to the ES minis. For those who do not know, MES is 10 times smaller than ES, but the chart moves almost identical to the ES. So you get the price action of the ES for a tenth of the exposure. Theoretically, if you can double a 5K account in the MES, you can double a 50K account in the ES. In fact, it is harder to trade the micros since the percentage of commissions is more for the micros than the minis. There are 252 trading days in a year, so it'll take less than half a year to double your account if you make an average of 1% a day. That means you can potentially double your account twice in 1 year, which would 4x your account in only 1 year. Then every year after that, it will be exponential growth. I'm currently around 32% of doubling my account. I've been making an average of about 2 to 3% a day, so I'm currently on track to double my account in 2 to 3 months. I always have my account amount on top of my screen. The price action strategy I use is a two-legged pullback and traps, and I look for two-legged pullbacks at key entry points. Two-legged pullback is simply this pattern, A, B, C, or A, B, C. It's first pullback, first entry, second pullback, and we like to enter to the second entry, which is right here. And so we like to look for entries right here, and on this two-legged pullback, entries this way, and we like to find these two-legged pullbacks at key entry points such as trend lines, support, resistance levels, channels, moving averages, and so we also like to look for traps. And on my screen I have very low indicators. I have 3 indicators, 2 moving averages, and 1 custom indicator. I have the 20 EMA, which you can see the solid blue line here. I have a dotted blue line, which is a 240 SMA, and also have this custom indicator I made, which counts legs and identifies two-legged pullbacks with dark red, dark green numbers, and also looks for traps with magenta boxes, and also tells you the upcoming leg that is coming up, the leg count, which is a little number here. Also with the color identifies the type of leg that's coming out, and also the tick count for the tick chart. And so if you'd like to know more about this strategy, feel free to check out the channel, and I have a playlist for beginners and intermediates to just describe more detail of what we're looking for, how to count legs, how to find two-legged pullbacks and traps. Al Brooks recommends you trade your I don't care size. So for me, that's 3 contracts, 2 scalps, and 1 runner. I use the 2584 tick chart as my main chart. Mac from Price Action Trading System uses the 2000 tick chart, which is fine, but I like to use the 2584 since it is the closest Fibonacci number to 2000. Why Fibonacci numbers? Well, because Fibonacci numbers appear all over in nature, and so if the market reflects human nature, I would like to use the Fibonacci number when I can. I also use some other charts to help see different time frames. These are all Fibonacci numbers. I use the 610 chart, 2584, 10,946, and also the 5-minute chart. Al Brooks uses the 5-minute, and I like to mimic the best. And so if you see different charts appear, then it's just me switching through the different time frames. Alright, now onto the technical analysis. Here's the 2584. 2584 is my main chart here. Get rid of this. Currently I already have this charted, and so just to review, I had a channel using this pivot and it was this pivot, but then it broke out and came back in, so I updated to this pivot. And the rule is, to make a channel, you find two pivots on if it's a downtrend, then you find two pivots on the top where it intersects no other points. You know, if you look, intersects no other points, and then you find a pivot on the other side between these two pivots, that if you were to make a parallel line, it will intersect no other points. And so I chose this point because if I select it, then you can see there's no other points that intersect it on the left side. The right side you do not worry about, but the left side, or any points in between these pivots, you want to worry about. You don't update on the right side because you want to see when it gets close to it, such as here, or if it even if it pierces it, that's valuable information. You know, that tells you it's overextended. So here it got close, didn't quite touch it, and basically tested the other side of the channel here. And now we are on this. Within this descending channel, we're on this ascending channel, and it's currently in the midpoint of this major channel. And we have broken out of this trading range here, as you can see from this channel. And so we have currently 3 channels working, but you know, this channel, I'm going to get rid of it because it broke out of it. And now it's actually under this ascending channel, possibly showing a breakdown. So we're on this channel. I mean, it could be two things, one or two things. It could just be a false breakdown. Actually, it comes back in here, so technically what we have to do is update this channel, and now update this channel. So we just have, you know, 2 major channels going on right now. But this is a pretty strong down leg here. I really wouldn't want to go short here. One thing is you got the 20 EMA going to act as support, and it's right next to it. Barely enough room to make a point. Strong bull bar here, and in a sense bounced off this bottom support, right? It actually went below it, but then came above it. So now we had to update it. So technically it's the new support, and it's bouncing off of it. Comes back down to retest it and misses it by a couple ticks. You see higher lows here, even by 2 ticks here. You know, doesn't matter. Still higher lows. So it's like trying to retest it, but the bulls are stopping it from going down, and even buying it sooner than it could before it actually even gets back to its previous low. So that shows some bullish behavior here. Just watching. I like to need to chart the 5-minute as well. I like to chart the 5-minute because it charts both price and time, whereas the tick chart charts price and volume. So I like to find confluence between these two. This had a perfect hit on the bottom of this channel here. Came back up. Currently, if I were to have another, does it break it? Yeah. Wow. Amazing. I think it's overextended. I think it's gonna try to come back up. Yeah. So you have this pivot from these two pivots here. This pivot, and using this pivot. And so yep. So you have this line that when extended tells you some good information. Tells you here you can see it overextended. Here you can see it's overextended again beyond this channel, and also comes back up. It says a failed breakdown. It comes back down. So we're getting some more information here. We're currently testing the bottom of this channel here as well. So we're overextended and testing the bottom of the channel with higher lows. And that's the time. That's the 5 minute. I think if it pops up, we're going to hit this 240 SMA. And we'll get a good bounce off the 240 SMA. So look at two-legged pullback here. A, B, C, two-legged pullback. Ooh. Showing trading range here now. Double top, micro double top. Terrible signal bar. Good context. Two-legged pullback. It's a terrible signal bar. We'll go inside bar here to this double micro double top. Just don't like the look on the 5 minute, these long tails here. Inside bar. See if I can get in here. Okay, I'm in. Micro double top at the 20 MA. for my point here. Micro double top, two-legged pullback, 20 EMA. Another attempt up, failed. Decent inside bar. Perhaps may need to scale in again here. Still no. Still good trade. Came back down, made a higher high, failed, basically hitting 20 EMA. Failed trap, essentially. It's hitting my target but bouncing right off of it. Incredible. Could just be a range. Okay, finally hit. See if we can get more. The runner. That was close. That was a battle for sure. But the micro double top, willingness to scale in with this, all these resistances above it. Yeah, I felt okay there. Currently have a runner going. For it to hit a measure move here, that would be a vicious measure move. Question is, can we get to the measure move before we get stopped out? Is the question. Okay, just to be trailing my stop now. Just trailing my stop. Previous candles high plus one tick. Most likely get stopped out here. Trap happened on the 5-minute. Trap on the 10K chart as well. Just never know. Just keep the runner going. Good signal bar here, looking to go long. And decent signal bar, but looking to go long nevertheless. Still about 4 minutes on the 5-minute chart. $10 bars. 10 bear bars. Incredible. I want to go long here, but I don't know. What's going on? Bottom of this wedge. It's creating an inside bar. On the 10K. 5-minute. Still so much bear pressure. This is all the bulls could do. Bring it up to here. Double bottom. Didn't quite make it. That's bullish. Okay, looks like bulls are waiting here with limit orders. Trading range. Interested going long here. Because of this wedge. See if they can pull back. Two-legged pullback on the wedge. I'll take it. It's a huge two-legged pullback on 10K chart. A, B, C. Two-legged pullback. Now with this trap on the 610, I think I'll take it. It's a curl up, strong bull bar, bull leg, ABC pattern. Two-legged pullback and also a trap. I'm going to take this on the 610. Purely for the setup. I'm in the 610. I'll do one scale in on the 610. I have to. Trap and a two-legged pullback. Come on. There we go. Got my point. Let's get 4 points. Okay. You made two-legged pullback here. Something like this. So I'm looking for. Let's see if the market is generous enough to give it to me. Trading range. The slope has decreased here. Okay, let's see if we get my setup here. Give me a two-legged pullback. I'm in this. Alright. Now we need a good signal bar. Double bottom. Again for a two-legged pullback. Okay, got me my point. Alright, wrapping up for today, and I'm up around 265. That's about 5% gain for my goal. And yeah, I've been gone for about 2 weeks, and so I feel a little rusty. And though I'm up kind of high on in terms of my goal, um, it's not necessarily the best trading day for me. Uh, for me, if I have to scale in a couple of my trades, I just don't feel like I'm necessarily reading the market as best as I can. Um, Typically, I like to scalp out and just win right off the bat with the runner. And if I'm finding myself having to scale in, just typically doesn't. I don't count that necessarily as a good day. So today I had to scale in 2 times, um, and so um, yeah. And with scale-ins, I don't post my scale-in trades. If you want to know, if you want to see my scale-in trades, let me know in the comments, and I'll post some scale-in trades. But it doesn't align with the strategy that most of you guys are familiar with. But just for instance, one of the trades I had to take was we had a really big major channel, descending channel, way from back here to here, and the channel line is all the way down here. So naturally, I thought if we got to this channel, it would be key entry point, and we would at least make a point scalp up. So we hit it, decent signal bar, not the best signal bar. We could have a way better signal bar, but decent signal bar. And yeah, but I thought the context was good enough, with enough room to 20 EMA, and I went long here. And so it didn't make a point, instead made a trap, as you can see with this magenta box. And so this trap, I scaled in from this trap. And so if I make a line from this, from one point above the previous candle's high, and my first scale in will be right here. Oops. My first scale in will be right here. And when I click this line, you can see the middle, the midpoint. It's with a dot. That gives you the break-even point. So if I scaled in, I would be able to break in at the middle of this point, which is this point right here. But rather, I had to scale in again. So that's one scale in, and here is 2 scale ins. And so the midpoint's right here. And I still would not have broken even, so I'm still in this trade. And another scale in right here. So I had a total of 3 scale ins before I at least break even. But for me, my premise was still good, and I just thought this was such a strong trend or channel that actually kept it for a point. And so, but when you scale in, you have to know that every time you scale in, you're doubling the amount of contracts you have. And so, as you know, I have 3 contracts. So before the first scale in, I have 3. Then after this scale in, I have 6, 12, and then 24. So I'm actually trading 24 contracts waiting for a point here. And so that's why when I scale in, if the premise is good, sometimes I'll come out break even, sometimes I want my point still with my scale ins. And so I made a point here with 24 contracts. And so, like I said, though my goal-wise, I'm up a lot. I did well. But in terms of having to scale in 3 times on a trade, for me, it's not necessarily. At the end, it's a win, but I would like it much better if I just got a scalp with a runner. And so I guess for me, either my charting was not perfect, or I wasn't reading the price action correctly. Could just be a number of factors, but for me, being so far away from the 20 EMA, knowing that we will have to hit the 20 EMA again, knowing that my break-even points would always be below the 20 EMA, it's way below 20 EMA here, way below 20 EMA here, knowing that it will hit it, keeping my point, I decided to keep my scale ins 24 contracts and make a point. So that aligns more with Al Brooks' strategy, and it does not align with max strategy, and I'll tell you right now, do not scale in unless you know what you're doing. If you do not know what you're doing, if you've never done it before, I would say do not scale in. If you have to scale in, definitely first practice scaling in a sim. Know the behavior of when to scale in, when it's a good time to scale in. For me, I knew it was a good time to scale in because of essentially, how much more can we go than a measure move here, and we didn't go much further than a measure move here. We also were way below 20 MA, also overextended and hitting a very strong support here. And so to me, it was a good place to scale in. But if you do not know how to scale in, if you've never done it, I will advise not to do it. Just put your stops where they should be. But since I've been doing this for a while now, and seeing many of the patterns here, another big reason why the scaling was good is because we basically had 3 pushes. We had 1, 2, 3 pushes. Essentially 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 traps in a row here. And another reason why I thought the premise was good to scale it, to keep my point actually still. And so that's it for today. Hope everyone else was able to trade well, and yeah, happy trading and God bless.